everyone, Jeff here. It's time for me to do another vinyl update, and I've been doing a lot of big vinyl updates lately, but I've just been scoring tons of cheap records lately, and once again, just digging at flea markets has really paid off. I went to the Golden Nugget antique market in Lambertville last weekend, and I found some amazing records. So I'm just gonna, like usual, I'm just gonna go straight into some of the stuff I found. And I also picked up some CDs, video games, stuff like that. But today I'm just gonna talk about the records. So what you're gonna be hearing in the background is Jeff Beck with the Jan Hammer Group live. This was only $1 or $2, and as you can hear, this is just really fiery fusion. And as you'd expect from the lineup, it's tremendous. So really cool to get that. Also picked up One of a Kind by Bill BRUFORD. Of course, just one of the best drummers, and this is a fusion album, and it is really good. So I was really happy to pull that one out. Also picked up a copy of Harvest by Neil Young. I've been meaning to get this ever since Derek talked about it in one of his videos, and I finally ran across a good copy for $1. And this is really good. It's not the sort of stuff I usually listen to, but it's good for like a late night, before I go to bed. Listen to this record. So thanks, Derek, for bringing this to my attention, and I'm happy to finally have that. This is what I'm going to show next here. Is by far the most mind-blowing score that I got there. Relaxing with the Miles Davis Quintet. This is an original on Prestige, and this is something I never thought I'd have an original. And I mean, of course, the sleeve's kind of worn, and it does sound like there's bacon sizzling in the background for a little bit, but I just don't even care, because to have an original of this is just so awesome. And this is a great album, of course. I've had this on CD for ages, but I found this for $2, and very happy to have that. I also picked up Voyage of the Acolyte by Steve Hackett, who, he was, of course, the guitarist for Genesis, and this is his first solo album, and it's a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. So definitely check this one out. I picked up an upgrade copy of Roxy and Elsewhere by Frank Zappa and the Mothers. I already had a copy of this, but I think I'm going to just take the other one and hang on the wall. This is my favorite live album, probably, and so cool to get another copy of that for cheap. So, Roxy and Elsewhere. I also found a copy of Fancy Free by Donald Byrd. I was just flipping through boxes. This one guy had a lot of, I don't want to say junk, but kind of like easy listening, stuff that you see often for priced at $1 each. But this was in there, and it's on Blue Note Records, which of course is very highly collectible. And it's a later Blue Note, but still, to get any Blue Note for $2 is really cool. So, Fancy Free by Donald Byrd. This is a pretty good album, too. I like this one. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. And this comes with the $1 billion insert, which is pretty cool. I thought that was an interesting touch. Haven't listened to this one yet, but definitely cool to get. Mallow, which is the band of, I think it's Jorge Santana? Yeah, who's the brother of Carlos Santana. Haven't listened to this one yet, but the cover is really cool, and I just had to pick up a copy of this. So very cool to get that. Stephen Stills' Manassas. This is a double album, and I don't know much about Stephen Stills other than, being in Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but looked interesting, and for $1, I figured I'd give it a shot. So haven't listened to it yet, but I have it. Dr. John, In the Right Place. In the Right Place, yeah. This isn't the sort of thing I'm going to listen to very often, but the cover's really cool, and, it's got some nice, funky tunes on it, So definitely cool to hear this. I could see myself taking this out every now and again, but not something I listen to often. Spirit, the family that plays together. I really like the Spirit that I've heard so far. I haven't listened to this yet, but I saw it and I had to get it. So, very cool to have that now. Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits. What I've heard of Janis Joplin, I don't care for, but I'll listen to this record, see what I think. You know, a lot of folks really dig her, so, you know, maybe it'll click with me eventually, but I did get that. Extra Texture by George Harrison. I don't know really much about this album at all, but I do like the Beatles a lot, and I like a lot of the George Harrison solo material that I've heard. Excuse me. So, cool to get that. And the cover's pretty cool, too, because it's kind of cut out there. So, cool to get that one. Back to the Bars by Todd Rundgren. This is a double live album, and if you watch my channel, you know that I like Todd Rundgren, so it's always good to get some more in my collection. Oh, I also got The Grand Wazoo by Frank Zappa for $2. I finally got a copy of this. You know, there have been a few times I've seen it for like 20, and I've wanted to bite the bullet, but I just figured I'd wait it out, and finally I got a copy at a flea market. So, very, very happy to have this. Really great album, and yeah, look at the painting here too. This is something you gotta have on vinyl. I've had this on CD for the longest time, and the track listing is actually slightly different on the vinyl than it is on the CD, which I think is interesting. So anyway, Grand Wazoo, fantastic album. Brooklyn Bridge. This is on Buddha Records, and I haven't listened to it yet, but a lot of stuff on Buddha tends to be good, so cool to add that to the collection. Chick Corea, Return to Forever. This is a mint copy on ECM. Even comes with the original sticker, still in the shrink, all that stuff. And this is one of the few Return to Forever albums that I didn't ever have. So, very happy to get this. Motivation Radio by Steve Hillage. I really, really dig Steve Hillage, and I think I only paid $5 for this. So, really cool to get that. Steve Hillage has put out a lot of great music, you know, in various, you know, either with Gong or by himself. So, very cool to get that. Patrick Moraz. I don't know that. I think this is just a self-titled album, but he's of course the keyboard player that played on Relayer by Yes, played with the Moody Blues, so really cool to get that. Among the Living by Anthrax. This is a thrash metal classic that I thought I would never have on vinyl in a mint copy. You know, this just isn't the sort of thing you run into at flea markets, by me at least. So really cool to finally get that. What is this? Shootout at the Fantasy Factory by Traffic. This is one of the few Traffic albums that or at least the earlier Traffic stuff that I didn't have. So, this was cool to get. And I really do like a lot of Traffic. So, very, very happy to have that. The Joshua Tree by U2. Stand Up by Jethro Tull, and actually this one I gotta show real quick because this comes with the pop-up here, which is just absolutely killer. And I'm a big Jethro Tull fan too, so really happy to finally have a copy of this on vinyl. And last but not least, one more Steve Hillage, Fish Rising. This is an absolutely fantastic album. And I'll highly recommend it if you like kind of guitar-driven progressive rock. This is really good. So that's all I have today. Quite a few things, actually, but hopefully you enjoyed watching this. And I'm going to try and get to the golden nugget again soon just because of how great that was. So I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll see you next time.